such a cool
All
intro.
right.
I
Oh,
like it.
and just as we are live, Miss Donna joins us.
Oh, Donna.
What's up, Donna?
You need to get that video.
Are you excited for tonight?
I am.
Excellent.
I've listened to 2 different spoiler free reviews.
Yep.
Just for a few minutes because I don't want to be spoiled.
I won't. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I'm almost done with. If they show any more like TV ads, I'm done. I don't want to see anything.
Yeah.
I didn't see like any advanced clips,
Yeah.
or anything for tonight. I want to watch it, and be surprised.
I listened to Film Threat, and they said the first 3 are just like the first 3 of season 1. It's just
Bobby and I just talking about that backstage. They're the weakest of all of them.
Yeah, and they said the good stuff is tonight.
And I like the first 3, other than the scene, which I don't know for.
They said they've seen all of it. They said 6 is Chef's Kiss, which we'll see tonight. And then
so I wonder if we're going to see the Ghost Crew rescue.
I don't know, because both me and Mattween.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat.
Watched when I went to, because I was like, oh, I'm going to see that, and of course it's just getting her out, and she just does this little speech and kind of. I think the same voice actor is playing her.
Yes.
So
in Rebel, yes.
Yeah, in Rebels, and so I can see them getting her out of there. I don't think they're going to redo. I don't think we're going to get Rebels, but I think by watching the Rebels thing this morning, I can see them because she's leaving with a lot of fighters around her.
And then the hook is the kid. Well, I say kid. The kid that was with her in Rebels, they showed twice in Andor. That's with her in the Ghost. So I think we're going to see the Ghost Crew. I really do.
I'm a little iffy on it because
I think we will.
Well, I wonder if we're going to see the Gorham Massacre in these episodes, and I think that's when she leaves, to join, for the rebellion.
Well, we know that she does a speech in
Rebels,
Coruscant.
Yeah.
And then she'll turn around and do the same speech.
What I really want is what happened to the TIE Advanced. I know it's a year later. Just tell me what happened to it.
Yeah.
Just tell me what happened to it.
But I'm hoping that tonight, whether it's 4, 5, or 6, my biggest hope, and I don't know why it's such a big hope, but is K2SO.
Yeah, David Ford. Let's see. Hail the dark side.
Oh, nice. David Ford. He's new, isn't he? I don't recognize that name.
Yeah, he knew. Not sure.
Well, David Ford.
Let's. I got a thing here about K2SO.
I don't want any spoilers.
Nope. Andor, Tony Gilroy explains the complications of using K2SO in the new season. K2SO, the reprogrammed Imperial security droid who served as Cassian's co-pilot in Rogue One, has yet to appear in the series Andor. Portrayed by Alan Tudyk in the film, the character proved to be very resourceful with both physical and technical skills. In addition to providing some comic relief with his sarcastic quips and impeccable timing, he also packed an emotional punch. Season 2 of Andor has maintained and even improved the emotional impact of the show. However, it's done so thus far without the droid. That is going to change, of course. We've known for some time how the droid is going to appear in the new season, And now Tony Gilroy hyped up his appearance in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. K2SO is fantastic, and he's funny. Tudyk is hysterical and is really great. He is great as K2.
I've seen like interviews with him, and I just think he's just a good dude. From
Oh
just
yeah,
interviews
he's
and
a
all that.
tremendous actor. He's
Yeah.
great in everything he does. Let's see. Okay, we're going to have him in the show, and let's make it spectacular, and let's really make a thing out of it. And that's what we've tried to do. Gilroy explains that there are both technical and story reasons for the droid's late entry into the series. The effect of creating the 8-foot droid is complicated. Not only does Tudyk voice the character, but he also performs the action through motion capture combined with CGI, a time-consuming process. As for the story aspects, having him with Cassian would limit Cassian's ability to move around to the different locations and scenarios that the story requires. Gilroy explains, limiting K2SO came from the experience of for making Rogue One, to be honest with you. From the very beginning, that was one of the most difficult parts of the original conversation. How long I was going to have to delay K2SO because what you can do with them. I don't want people to go back and diagram Rogue, but just within that movie, there are 2 or 3 or 4 places where we are hiding him, where he has to stay on the ship or can't go somewhere. He's a really, really difficult piece of equipment to carry through a story. The limitations on him are huge. He's very visible, troublesome piece of story gear. So I knew intuitively how long I would have to wait to do it. And it was announced
I saw something about, it must have been an interview or something. I don't know what it was or where I even saw it. But
yeah.
The guy that played Cassie was giving him a hard time because he's a little bigger than he was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It was announced early on that K2SO would appear in Andor season 1, but would make his streaming debut in the show's 2nd season. The series trailers have shown K2SO in action, so fans know that it is only a matter of time before the droid appears. As with everything we've seen in the series, the story will dictate the right time and situation. And yep.
Well, that sounds like we're gonna get
every Tuesday
K2SO, but we're not gonna get too much.
Yep.
K2SO. It sounds like his scenes will be limited.
Yep. So we'll see.
Yeah, Kami. He's Matt's backstage.
Oh, okay. There he is. What's up, sir?
Hey, y'all.
Oh, excellent background photo.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
That is. I keep thinking back to last week, and I still think that looking back to last week, if they would have just cut some of the walking around a little bit, I think it would have been just a little bit more enjoyable, but I enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah,
I did. Except for the one thing.
Yeah, I know that people are still talking about it, but not as much as last week. But
if they say last week was the slowest,
yes,
of the series, then I'm buckling in tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited.
Yeah, so a year should pass, between each block of episodes. So it should be a year has gone by since, the end of episode 3. So
yeah,
we will see.
But I had heard that from 6 to like 8.
Yep.
6, 7, and 8, 9. Great. And
Good.
then 11. And then 12 is just resetting everything to.
It should lead right into Rogue One.
It just resets into Rogue One.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is as far as I heard from spoilers. I turned it off when they said, "Hey, we're going to have real spoilers." I turned it off.
Yeah.
Yep. Ahsoka season 2 is now in production in the UK.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah, they've started filming.
I love it.
Yes.
So, and we won't see that till like next spring, I believe. So, it sounds like it's going to be an interesting season.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope they take lessons from what people didn't like. I hope they listened.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean,
you guys, talk about seeing Revenge of the Sith this weekend back in theaters.
Oh, I
I
loved
did.
it. It was so much fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. What was it like for you guys?
Well,
So-
for me, I was with I had prepaid tickets and then I was at a funeral with the honor guard, and the honor guard was waiting and waiting. So I told Jessica, can you switch it to a later one? And they had done an overflow.
No.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Or,
Mhm.
30 minutes later, they had an overflow, and I went in there, and it was, I think we had maybe 5 to 10 open seats. The rest was just
Wow.
full.
And that's the overflow.
Wow.
And that was overflow. Apparently they people were in line.
Nice.
And we had people with sabers and people. It was like a party, and it was I was surrounded by people that loved it, and
Yeah,
it was
awesome.
just, and it was like a party. It was like being part of something, and great memories. That was mine.
Cool.
Now, every time, like to this day, every time I watch anything Star Wars, I see something new every time.
Yeah.
And Revenge of the Sith, and I feel silly even saying this because obviously, but I really noticed when Obi-Wan steals Grievous's ship and takes it into Tantive 4.
Yeah.
In the back, you could really, really see it. I don't know, just because of the big screen. I'm like, it's like so visible, and that's the one thing that really stuck out to me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Madeline, what was it like for you?
Grievous's ship, it looked a lot like to the Batmobile from the Batman 89. It had that real long rounded
I love that
fenders
shit.
and everything.
Yeah, that like elongated nose.
Yeah,
and all that.
and the cockpit slid forward just like Batman's
Mhm.
cockpit. I thought that I had never caught that either, John. It's one of the things I noticed. Watching it again after 20 years.
Oh, did you see? Am I just because of the big screen? I guess.
Did you guys get your email notice that about packages coming from ICC? It should be our passes.
I think I'm getting mine at will call.
I'm getting mine at will call.
Yeah,
haven't
see,
ordered mine yet.
mine's coming in the mail.
But I did get an email from them yesterday.
Yeah.
Just saying, see you in 14 days.
Okay.
With a little bit of information there. So yeah, maybe they're starting to send things out.
Yep.
What about Bo-Katan? That was crazy.
That was crazy. I'm excited.
Heck yeah. So we're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors for it. You guys are gonna have to rock, paper, scissors for that extra ticket.
So for
my shipment is on the way. So
awesome.
Nice. So next Sunday, May 4th, I'm gonna stream, and Michael Havens is gonna come on at 6:00 Central Time.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Very cool.
So I'll put that out there, and
all right,
because that's gonna be my last hurrah. Because I think I'm away from my house more than I am here the whole month of May.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Big month for you.
Back to before I forget, to something that we noticed on
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith is not that I noticed it, everybody knows, but when Obi-Wan goes into to go meet Grievous.
Yep.
And they go and he talks to the people meeting him on the platform. That species is the same species as the Grand Inquisitor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and it made me when it was done, it made me reflect on how much I feel like they kind of stole from us by not adding it to what was that Obi-Wan show, you know, when
he should look regular or like
I mean, I just felt like, you know, it would have been if they would have spent the extra little bit to make that happen. I think it would have done something more for the Obi-Wan show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. I hear you. Now, a question: does it still hold up on the big screen?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I would say absolutely.
Still looks awesome.
Well, now that we're used, you know, at the time it was big stuff. Now you can kind of see the green screen because now we're kind of trained that way. Yeah. But I still, because you can see it pretty good in the lava, you know, when they're fighting in the lava. But the rest of it, I thought it was, and I wish that we could have the Coruscant. You know how in these later ones the Coruscant skyline isn't so busy, isn't so whatever, and I thought about that too. I mean,
the whole experience throughout the whole movie was still exciting and really enjoyable. And then at the end of the film, everybody clapped and applauded, you know, and from beginning to end, there was audience engagement. You know, you could, I think you guys know what scenes they all applauded for.
Well, I've seen some videos of like people, you know, singing along with the main title, you know, and the crawl and all that.
I remember, it wasn't Revenge of the Sith, but I remember when Phantom Menace, and it was opening night, and I had my oldest son with me, and he was 6 years old at the time. When they introduced 3PO, that whole theater went nuts.
Oh yeah,
it was cool.
Yeah, cool. There's a couple of ladies behind me. I think they were a couple, but one of them was like,
when you say couple, like leg lickers couple. I just putting this in my mind.
Just think scissors. Anyway,
scissor sisters.
Donna.
So anyway, I think they were a couple because they were just kind of tightly wound a little bit. Anyway, the one that was right behind me, she was like, apparently she was mouthing all of the lines with it, and the young lady next to her is just like, will you stop it? I'm trying. And she's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just, you know, and so people around me, you know, like, hello there. I mean, everybody says it at the same time.
Oh yeah. Everybody applauded that.
That's cool though. That's what a theater experience is all about though.
No, it was,
I miss waiting in line for tickets and all. I miss that.
Yeah,
well,
going to the movies isn't like it used to be.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, my first time seeing it, it was in a USO tent theater thing.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was a tent
the MWR tents.
Yes. And so that was this is my first time actually seeing it in a big screen.
Well,
and that was kind of it was great. It was great. It was
I remember,
and we got afternoon ticket prices. So
yeah.
And snuck our stuff in purses and stuff, so we didn't, you know.
I remember going to see episode 2, and we were in the hallway waiting to get in. We all had our tickets, just waiting to get in the movie theater. Back then, you didn't have signed seating or anything, and there was a guy dressed up as Boba Fett, and I was standing next to him. He goes, I heard Boba Fett's in this. I'm like, what? And then after, I'm like, how do you feel now? Because he was dressed as the adult Boba Fett. He didn't know.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Cool.
Now that we saw Boba Fett, I see it. I'm sorry. I know you guys will disagree with me here, but I think that Attack of the Clones is the most underrated.
Oh, I love Attack of Clones.
The Attack of the Clones, I think, is so underrated. The only thing that sucks about that is the romance scenes are just kind of
Well, they gotta
Yeah.
fall in love so they
Yeah,
have
they're a
children, Donna.
Huh?
You gotta fall in love to have children.
Yeah, but they're just they had no chemistry, and it was just when he puts his finger on her arm, I was just like, oh, creep out. But
What you're saying, Donna, is you don't want me to finger you down in Nashville.
Oh gosh, John.
What? That's what you're saying.
but anyway, I thought that experience, and I saw now I've seen everything but Rise of Skywalker in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now Rise of Skywalker I never did see, and I never will go see.
Oh, they could put those.
You've never
They
seen
could
it.
put theirs back in the theater for 20-year anniversaries. I won't be there.
Rise
I
of
don't think anybody
Skywalker,
will.
No.
Rise of Skywalker, and what is it? What is it?
Empire Strikes
Solo?
The Last
No,
Jedi.
that was the second one.
The Last Jedi.
The Last
Last
Jedi.
Jedi.
The Last
Yeah.
Jedi. I saw in the theater, and then I was just like, oh, and I've never seen it again.
But
And
you've never
then-
seen Rise of Skywalker at all.
And Rise of Skywalker, my daughter talked me into just watch it on the, it was it was like the Disney Plus had just come out,
Yeah.
and Rise of Skywalker was one of the things they were like, oh, brand new to Disney Plus. So and it was also May 4th. So
okay.
Jessica talked me into it, and then I watched it, and I was like,
Felt dirty about yourself, didn't you?
but it's funny. I'm one of those that went to The Force Awakens like 3 or 4 times. I think I went 4 times.
Yeah.
Because the first time I was like, I didn't like this. But everybody was raving about it. So then I watched it the second time, and then I was like, okay, I can appreciate a little bit more. And then I went with my daughter on the third, and then whatever. But then it just, I mean, Rise of Skywalker by itself is the better of the 3.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, The Force Awakens, when they did Starkiller Base, I was out. I was done. I remember sitting in the theater thinking, you can't come up with
Yeah, I
something
thought it
else.
was like kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hollowed out a planet, and I'm like, come on.
I mean, I appreciate what planet it was, and the whole thing of what planet it was, but I just like, I don't know. I didn't like it, but everybody was like raving about it online, and I was like, what am I missing? And I went back and I forced myself to like it. I think that's the best way to say it. I forced myself to like it.
Yeah.
But then that's where I totally have a complete love, not in love, but a love for Finn, because I think Finn was the most.
So it's wasted potential there.
Oh, waste. He could have been.
Yeah.
He could have been something, and
completely sidelined in the second and
and
third.
then now
films.
that he talks bad about us,
I know, and that's the whole thing. All we wanted was
that-
make him something better.
I wanted to say, dude, if you would listen to the actual fans and not the Disney people, you would find out that if you were just to go around some of these people's, you would find out that you have a lot more fans than anybody else. I want to tell him, but I'm sure you can't.
Yeah. Oh, well, other Star Wars news. All 6 episodes of Tales of the Underworld are released on this Sunday.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm
Oh,
really
is it this Sunday?
Yep, this Sunday.
Oh, I thought it wasn't for
Which is
another 2
May
weeks.
the 4th.
May the 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, I told the preacher at my church, he is a total Star Wars fan. I said, May the 4th is on a Sunday. And he says, is it? I have something prepared for it.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was disappointed that planet was not Lothal.
Yes.
Was it
I was-
Mineral or whatever the hell?
Minrao.
Yeah, I was
There's
like,
time though.
because it
There's
sure as
time.
hell looked like Lothal.
I'm sad about Brasso too. I like that
I
guy.
mean,
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you look at it again, it looks like he was hitting the shoulder.
Yeah, back on his shoulder
So,
blade.
don't know. He might still be alive.
Well, that'd be nice.
Wouldn't that be something
But they just left the droid.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's B2 too.
he left
Yeah.
B2 there. And didn't we talk about that? Hopefully he goes back and gets him, and
Yeah.
maybe to save him because he's old, he puts his
Yeah.
his personality or whatever into K2.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
That's what all of us
Yeah,
are thinking,
so-
but who knows? So where's it going to start this week?
Let's see.
Where's
Nick,
Wait,
what's
Nick.
going on?
What's happening, Nick?
You guys,
What up?
you guys still
I-
doing
I
your whole
see,
indoor thing?
Canada isn't burning yet.
No, it's good.
Do they have
Actually,
the
it's
elections?
beautiful. It's beautiful outside right now, but it's there's supposed to be a storm coming. Well, we're sort of in a windstorm here. It's nice and sunny, but
Yeah,
temperature's
so it
going to
was
drop
raining
down
here
just
today.
below zero.
Ooh.
Yeah, it seems like across all North America, it's like that.
Yeah.
I was on the phone to one of my army buddies out west, and
Yeah.
he was just saying like, yeah, there's a huge storm coming. It seems like there's a storm everywhere.
Okay,
So-
yeah, because it was sunny and warm. It's actually still at 62 right here right now. But yeah, it was
Sign
very
of the
windy today.
times.
Yeah, no kidding. So what do you folks think of maybe predictions for tonight? What would
Oh, it's on
what would
tonight?
you like to see for Andor?
Well, I would like to see in more general terms. I want to see the rebellion progress to where they're a little more cohesive.
Okay, yeah, same here.
You know, with the different factions kind of starting to get aligned. Because I know, I watched during lunch break today. I watched the Rebels episode where they were with Mon Mothma after the Gorman incident.
Yep.
And she put that
Now-
big statement out to
Yeah.
have people show up at Dantooine, and they started showing up.
Do you think we'll see Bail Organa tonight?
The new one, the new Bail.
Yeah, but was it Benjamin Bratt?
I'm not happy
Yeah.
about that, but
Well,
I
I
don't know
I
what-
can understand the
Because
recasting.
Jimmy's too old.
Well, there was. I guess there was scheduling conflicts or something. And I mean, yeah, because he was instrumental in the formation of the rebellion.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're going to see him.
do you think we'll see the faction that we saw in episode 1 on Yavin?
Oh,
Maybe.
no,
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe if they can survive the nights, with those creatures running around.
maybe that brother came and picked them back up later on. But
Yeah.
if we do see them, I want to see them. Like I said, I want to see those type of factions a little bit more united. Maybe
Yeah.
eventually.
One
Maybe
of
it's
them's
still
the
too
kid
early.
of somebody or important, isn't it?
What's that?
One of the actors is the kid of some. I don't know if it's Gilroy or something. I heard
Oh,
that.
I didn't know. Didn't know that.
Yeah, not.
I kept looking at those faces. I watched it again over the weekend. I kept wanting to see if some of those actors were in Rogue One, part of his crew in Rogue One, but I didn't recognize any of them.
Yeah.
We still got to see Melshi. He'll be back eventually.
Lay down.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see him like tonight.
Maybe.
Well, we'll see Maya and what happened to her when he stole the ship.
Oh, the Maya Pei.
Mm-hmm.
He said he knew her, that they were saying she was dead.
It
said she got killed in whatever battle they were in, but I don't know. I think this is going to be a kind of a totally separate adventure.
Yeah, because tonight we're gonna, like, after episode 6, that's the halfway point.
Yeah.
So
how do they bring up Tay? Because I assume he's dead for a year now.
I think he's done. He's done. I think
how do they bring that up or let us know what happened?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Mon Mothma and Luthen have a little discussion, and
maybe they'll just throw a line in there and
that's what I'm thinking.
It's been smooth sailing since we got rid of
each week is a year, correct?
Yep. Like, I don't know if it's a calendar year, 12 months, 14 months.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
yeah, we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be. Hopefully, they explain anything that's happened. Like in the transitional year.
Yeah.
So,
and if they're sticking to the same crew people, we got to see Deidre and Cyril, see if they're still together, how they're progressing with Mother. Maybe they're going to still stick with that format.
Yeah.
All right. So, being that they're a year apart every week, that's when they need to crawl back.
That would be good. Just to give you a brief update, what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know if they do a full crawl or, because like at the beginning of episode 1, they showed, it was for, BBY. So 4 years before the Battle of Yavin. So tonight, if the year is passed, it should be like 2 years before the Battle of Yavin.
3 years, yeah.
Or 3 years, yeah. So
maybe I'm a purist, but I think the crawl should be safe for the movies. Even though this feels like a movie every week.
That's true. But yeah, the crawl, I just think it'd be more like you could kind of get the past year.
Yeah, get a little summary.
Updated, yeah.
Yeah. Previously on Andor.
Okay. So yeah, it should hopefully maybe they'll give a little description, but I think we're going to see the Gorham massacre tonight.
Or is there any cut scenes that they'll show for the preview from the previous year?
Don't know. I haven't watched any teasers for tonight. I haven't watched anything.
Yeah, I don't know how they do intros.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll give Obi-Wan, the show, is that opening scene was that gives me chills to this day.
Oh, it was kind of the rundown of Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That gives me chills to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get something. I'm sure we'll be talking about it in the chat during the episode.
Oh yeah, Rispin says we're going to see K2SO this week. I don't know whatever information he has.
Okay, good.
Rispin's usually in the know.
Yeah,
freaking Rispin.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, but looking forward to that. I want to see how he actually gets a hold of him and reprograms him.
Yeah, because he's an Imperial droid. How does that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, K2.
They use something to like short him out and then reprogram him while he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? What do you guys think? Anything else you'd like to see tonight?
I would like Luthen to come out with what he is. Is he a Padawan that was or a Jedi that was just kind of off to the side somewhere?
Yeah.
I would like to hear his backstory a little bit more.
We're supposed to get that eventually, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'd
and
like
then-
to find out,
And then
why he's doing this.
And then
You
the
know?
lady that's with him that's in his shop, is she like his Padawan type thing? Because
What
I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand why. Sorry, John. Like maybe I missed it, but there's been no indication that he's shown any Jedi powers or anything. Or did I totally miss it? Or
No, yeah, there's been none.
No.
There's this
Luke,
one.
I don't understand why.
I'm re-seeing. I've been watching. My daughter and I have been watching the season 1, and there's this one part where he has this cane, and the hilt of this cane looks like a.
Yeah, I've seen that in the first season.
And his cane has this. It looks like a traditional lightsaber, and. And I don't think he's a light side user. I actually think he's a dark side user that hates the. Does that make sense? Anyway, I don't know. I still on that, because don't forget he had kyber crystal.
Yeah,
he has a kyber crystal. He also has a these lasers that look like
yeah, they look like lightsabers
coming off of his
yeah.
So I'm wondering. I'll probably be wrong, but I'm wondering.
Well, with a guy named Luthen, you can't really. Can you really trust a guy with a name like that?
Yeah.
Luther.
Luthen.
No, but I mean, there could. I mean, what is his name?
The actor?
Jedi Master. Black guy.
Mace Windu?
Mace Windu. Mace Windu played on
Window? Okay.
He had played on the dark side. Right? And that's why he has a purple lightsaber.
No, I think he's like in between that. I forget what they called it. I don't know. I watched a few lore videos.
And so
he's in between the light and the dark. So
he had like a shatter something that his fighting style was.
Yeah, his fighting style. That's right, Madam.
I don't know. It'd be cool, but I think these people are just people.
Yeah,
the people are just people.
Yeah,
they're just normal.
They're just regular people in the galaxy of Star Wars.
I'm just interested. I do not want to see the Ghost Crew.
I do.
Oh, I do.
Oh,
I want to see them in live action.
I don't want to see a whole bunch of them, but I wouldn't mind them showing up to
maybe
Hera and Zeb.
Yeah.
I'm still. I don't know.
Well, I think Mon's going to have shorter hair soon. If they're going to stick to canon, or animation,
shorter hair and dye it,
and cinema canon too. Yeah, she got her little pixie cut going almost.
Yeah, and then in the cartoon, she has like the same haircut that Ezra has. It's just
real short.
Helmet head. I don't know.
Probably she couldn't afford a hairdresser. She quit. She resigned from the Senate. Was on the run.
Now, are we going to find out if her husband is actually seeing maybe the different side to her?
I got a feeling they're about to be divorced.
Yeah.
I want to know what Davos has got more to do with it. If we're going to see more of him.
Yeah, the Scolding guy.
Crime lord or mobster.
Scumbag.
That would be
whoa. We don't know that.
We
don't know that. He might be doing things
a great move.
Halloween.
Yeah. What'd you say, Nick?
That'd be a great move for Luthen to get rid of Mon Mothma's husband.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that might cause some controversy.
Well, yeah,
Friction.
turmoil.
Well, but he doesn't have to do it that she knows. but
Or
just to
might,
get
might
him
do
out
her a
of the way.
favor.
Yeah, I think it's doing her a favor.
He's a
Yeah.
hedonist.
It's
He pretty
fine.
much proved he was a hedonist in that speech of his.
I think he's going to come around. Actually,
Well, I mean, character development wise, it'd be interesting to see him do a 180 and start not being selfish, and
I think he'll come around.
something wakes him up.
Well, there's been no indication that he's has any good. Does he? I don't know. I haven't really followed
his
too
whole
well, but
speech was
is
on
there any
joy.
indication that his? Yeah.
His whole speech is on joy, and what's the opposite of joy? Oppression, which is the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all about good time, have a good time. Life. He said all you got to do is stand still, and the galaxy's gonna throw problems at your way. So enjoy it, live, eat, drink. Was it eat, drink, and be merry?
Be merry, yeah. So it should be interesting tonight.
Yeah. So we'll get through the Gorman stuff over tonight, I think. I guess because I think what they said Deidre's idea was you got to kind of make a false flag kind of thing. You got to create some rebels doing something at the right time. And it's been a year that they've started to show up at Gorman, and things are getting hot, and a lot of protests and whatnot are probably happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing I think they're missing in this show is they have to show the benefits of the Empire better.
Benefit of their leadership, or them running everything.
Yeah, I think that's one thing where it becomes a little too
Protection.
simplistic and naive.
Instead of making them one dimensional, like just all bad.
Well,
people.
I mean, like if you just they're all bad, everything they do is bad. I would, if I was to write the show, I would have them dealing with a lot of other worse evils in the universe as well. So it's like as the rebellion's slowly building up, you gotta remember, it's like when they had the old Republic, right? It fell because they weren't dealing with a lot of the evils, whether it's like the Trade Federation or, in their universe, but otherwise it wouldn't be,
Do you guys think that Deidre is going to be changing sides? Maybe.
Maybe.
I do think that, because I think the force choking in the trailer or whatever, I don't think she's going to force choke.
I think she's having like a massive anxiety attack.
I think she sees what happens to Gorman.
Is choking her.
I think she sees what happens, how the Gorman thing is going to go down.
Yep. I don't think that's a force choke at all. I think that's her realization that the Empire is evil.
They're bad. They're worse than even she thought. Could be. Yeah. And then halfway through the season, that would be a good time for her to turn.
And then what does she do with Cyril? How committed is he?
Oh, right.
Yeah, that too. Wonder if something happens to Cyril.
Well, Cyril might be,
Maybe he becomes a killer, a serial killer.
Cyril.
Oh, gosh.
I nominate John as the new head writer for Lucasfilm.
John, sending you to the penitentiary.
That's brilliant.
No, but I find that I don't know why that storyline is intriguing to me, but it is, because remember how creepy he was in the first season, following her around.
He's still creepy,
and he's still kind of creepy, and I'm wondering if she'll wake up and be like, "You're kind of ew."
She's creepy too, though.
True, but then and see, but how could she have grown up in the Empire if the Empire is only 15 years old?
My youngest son.
Well, she was like, I think I'll not defend them, but I think she was probably like 10, 12, and then when the Empire came over. Her parents got killed in the early years of its formation, so she probably lived in the Empire. You know, how old is she supposed to be in the show, anyways?
She's in her
looks
late
like
30s.
She got taken when she was. Yeah, so maybe. Well, yeah. See, that's kind of the writing, right? Like these are things that you should think about before you. You know,
I think
she was taken when she
grew
was
up
15.
in
I think she just used the term that's common. It's the Empire. You know, maybe it was really the Republic era. I mean,
Yeah.
but she's just using the common term Empire now.
Yeah, because there's like overlap, right?
Yeah.
That's personally, I think that's it. One thing I will say, I think that's actually George Lucas's sort of mistake when the way he created the prequels with the old Republic transitioning into the Empire. But anyways, like there's things that he should have put in there. I think would have really smoothed things over better. That would have been more of a believable universe. Where I don't know, but whatever. It's all good. It's all made up shit, anyways.
Yeah. Semantics sometimes.
How dare you? This isn't made up.
It's real. It's real.
But guys,
it's history.
I know what I just said is completely not true. The truth is that this is ancient Earth history. This is ancient Earth history from
Next
like
he's going to tell us
50,000 years
there's
ago.
no Easter bunny.
On the other.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Stargate or Battlestar. We'll end up finding out these are our ancestors.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That was not Battlestar.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, they ended up on Earth.
I watched the old one, like years ago.
The old one, the very last bit was them finding Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that with the remake with Katie Sackhoff too.
I could never really get into it.
Finally made it to Earth.
He was on his paw from Bonanza, so I could never get into it, even as a kid.
Lauren Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Lauren Green. Lauren Green, excuse me.
Lauren Green. Yeah.
Lauren Green. Yep.
What's wrong with Lauren Green?
And the guy that
he's Paul on Bonanza.
Yeah.
He's great. He was a great actor. I liked him.
They still show Bonanza on Shout Studios YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's almost 500 episodes, so they have to keep going.
Yeah, they have big marathons of it.
My grandmother has seen every one of them 100 times.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
She keeps.
I gotta watch
all the time.
The guy down at the very end of my road I live on. That's what he watches. Oh, that storm is going wild out there.
Yeah, they're like Dennis Weaver was part of that.
If I lose electricity and all of that, if I just go poof, that's what's going on.
Be careful, Donna.
Okay.
Don't go poof.
Well, nice knowing you, Donna. Do you have tornadoes in your area?
No, it's just a lightning storm, but they said that the wind is supposed to.
Yeah, it's heading your way.
It's supposed to hit
heading your way. I'm looking at the radar.
The 60s, and it's rolling out there now. Yeah. Let me see. Rain. We're gonna get.
Yeah, that's things I don't want to deal with too much. Forest fires, like in California, tornadoes, tropical storms, earthquakes. Like I strategically will move to places on the planet where that stuff is, like your volcanoes, where that shit is extremely highly unlikely from happening.
Yeah, you're safe up there.
In the next 6 hours, we're going to get a 0.65 inches of rain.
Oh, damn.
Right.
Well, that's not too bad.
That's a lot of rain, Donna.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as it was a couple weeks ago during the tornado, and I was in the freaking closet 3:00 in the morning.
Jeez. So you eventually came out of the closet.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like your cellar?
We had a shooting this morning. How weird was that? Oh my goodness!
Wait, Donna, you're telling me you were hiding in the closet, like what, on like your main floor of the house? Like that was going to be your protection against the tornado?
Well, they tell you to go to the if you have a room in your house, and which is the master closet. If you have a room that doesn't have any windows and is interior and it doesn't go to an outside, It's
Yeah.
an interior built part. They tell you to go to that.
Oh.
And my closet in my bedroom is interior of the house. It's like the center of the house, actually. So
I don't know. You know what? One technology I really would like to get, like shields for like my house, like shields, like Star Trek shit. You know, and just like
Hey, John, Matt, you saw that thing I sent you on Instagram? That thing, a speeder bike?
Yes.
Yeah,
I want one.
that's a real thing.
That's real?
That's real.
Wow.
I followed the page of the guy. He's a designer. He's designed like single person, like VTOLs and stuff. It is real.
So, do you want a speeder bike or do you want a jetpack?
A speeder bike.
I think so. I think I'm with speeder bike.
Matter of fact, let me.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott Westbrook.
Mr. Westbrook. About time you joined
Scott.
us.
I'd say Scott's a good guy, but he's a loser because he's not going to be at ICC this year.
Sucks. A lot of
can't make it to all of them.
That's right.
We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time.
So anything new and exciting? You guys picked up any stuff or?
No, I haven't picked up anything. But let me show this thing. I can imagine what this is going to go for.
Yep, I want one.
Look how steady it is.
It's going to have some kind of gyro stabilization system.
Yeah. He's not breaking.
That's the name of the company.
We're finally loosening up on this technology.
Supposed to reveal the tech behind it in the next few weeks.
Yep, I want one.
It's such a smooth turn, too, you know? I thought it was on a rail. I thought it was like CGI where he's on a rail system.
But no, it's real.
Follow not.
They
Sign me up, buddy.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean that's badass.
Give me some truck nuts to put on the back of that.
The military's gonna have to start using stuff like
it's
that.
It's a flying ball bag.
yeah, Nick. I'm surprised they're not already.
You'd be surprised.
Rick and Morty and all that.
What they're using.
There's probably
you'd be very
stuff
surprised.
Out there. Yeah, but
yeah,
man, I would love to have something like that. Jesus, ride that thing into work one day on the base. They'd love that.
Yeah.
Well, the flying car thing would be awesome. It would really change, the traffic, and you get a lot done. I don't know what it would do to wildlife. You'd be driving into birds and stuff like that. Might be a problem, but generally speaking, I think it'd be okay. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, people always talk about flying
You'd
cars.
Have speed limitations.
Yeah, we could barely drive on the ground. I don't see how human can fly cars. But
oh god, that'd be all kind
job
of
security. I'm just saying.
Job security for John.
Yep.
Yeah, there'd be wrecks all over.
It'd have to be very well automated.
I don't want to automate it.
I'm sure it's going to be heavily regulated and licensed.
Yeah, I mean, your eyesight has to be perfect to be a pilot. So not everybody would be out there flying cars.
Yeah,
I have to have control, otherwise.
But have something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm living.
I'll be at ICC 2026.
The problem would be the terrorists.
Yeah. Oh, like anything, they'll turn something into a weapon, a tool for evil.
Yeah.
I can see something like that having military applications too.
So Celebration was announced for 2027 in LA.
Yep.
And this is the first time I'm like not even interested. I'll go to ICCC over at any time. Like not even it wasn't even like I gotta get my tickets. Not even a thought.
Yeah, I have no desire to go to a Star Wars Celebration.
And I've been to every one except for the first one and the one in 2020 where you had to wear masks. And they gave me my money back, which I was surprised at, but
Wow.
But yeah, no desire. I love ICCC.
I was so excited.
Yeah, I had fun in October. I'm looking forward to this one.
Just rub it in.
Well, you'll have to go next year, Nick. Hopefully, you'll be living in the U.S. by then.
Hey,
you
don't know.
All he needs to do is move to Vancouver. Those people already.
Vancouver.
Nick's moving to Alberta.
Alberta.
Alberta
Wants to secede.
Well, Alberta first is where, okay, so we'll go over it. I'll give you guys Donna the heads up on Canada. So the Alberta separatist movement just got injected with rocket fuel now. Whatever you think about it, it's just that's now starting to become a big thing. You remember, we already have Quebec that always threatens separations. They've been using that as a political tool for since before I was born. But now Alberta really doesn't. There's a lot of Albertans that really want to leave. It's not like Quebec where they just say they threaten to leave.
Yeah,
Albertans, they used to be wanting to be into Canada. That used to be the saying. Now I would say it's probably 55, 60. Like there's a strong movement for them to just leave and be at the very least independent. But they're not the only province. The number 2 that's right there, and maybe you might even go faster than Alberta, might even be Saskatchewan, which because there's a huge group, a large portion. Yeah, that's another one that could go. And then if one of those goes, the other one will go Alberta, but probably would be Alberta first, then Saskatchewan, might even go at the exact same time. And then you'd have British Columbia, Vancouver would go, and then Canada would split, and then economically it would make so much less sense. I mean, I know so many people that have already left Canada, business owners and everything just in the last 5 years. They just don't want to do it anymore. And these are Canadians that have lived here for some of them for a long, they got generational family here, right? So.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
do you guys hear this?
That's nice.
Yeah, I heard that.
Sorry.
We've been going for about an hour. I think we'll end it because I got to do some stuff before Andor comes on.
Nick, I hope that things kind of calm down for y'all up there very soon.
No, they won't. Yeah. But I appreciate it though.
I think
if anything, it's about to heat up. So you can. I'm moving in, John. You got lots of property down there, so you're gonna have.
I got a spare room. You can come stay with me. Kentucky's better than Indiana.
It is not.
It is
We have the 500, and we're the home of, well, not really, but we claim it, basketball. So
we got the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, we're gonna watch that Saturday.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the girls come over. They got fancy hats and everything.
Put your fancy hat on, John.
And we drink that.
Drinking mint juleps.
Mint juleps.
Mint juleps. They're horrible. I mean,
just
horrible.
Good sundress, John.
Okay, I'll take a photo and send it to you.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna get off here.
Okay, now everybody remember to, as things are going, I enjoyed people kind of,
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure we'll all be texting.
I am skipping straight to the next episode. I'm skipping over,
everything.
The intros. I'm keeping it going tonight.
Yeah.
Same here.
So
I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna fall asleep, so I won't be texting.
All right, old man.
I hear you.
All right, guys.
All right,
God
folks.
bless,
I'm going to play the outro, and I will catch you all later.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep.
Like what you see here? Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to never miss an episode, and thanks for watching.